What's going on? That's why you shouldn't be around. Stupid cat. Scared the crap out of me. What's going on, guys? Adam again, back with Atomic Garage, and today is story time. Coming up after the intro. Drop it. So guys, as the intro just stated, it is story time. Today is the day that I tell you of how I am a failure.
Hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with
I'm a failure. So, get right into it. So, I was working at a Chevrolet dealership, and I had a couple buddies there. And one of my buddies, named Tim, he's got a nice Harley motorcycle. I would like a motorcycle. Doesn't have to be Harley. I would like a motorcycle. And I said, you know what? You can't buy one, you can build one. So that's what the harebrained scheme I had. Can you build a bike? So I came up with the harebrained idea to build a bike. And to make it worse, I wanted to make it a challenge for myself. So I went to my buddy Tim and I said, you know what? I can build a motorcycle. I can build a motorcycle for under $1,000 to $1,200, painted, finished, riding, title, everything. That's what I said. That is really, really ambitious. Completely ambitious. So I go ahead and hop on the internet. And I said, well, I can't go with this Voodoo Vintage frame that I want because that's gonna set me back 750 bones just for the frame itself. This is the frame that I wanted. So that was completely out the picture. So when you need to find something, but you need to find it used and cheap, you can check two places. You can check Fleabay and you can also check Craigslist. So I jumped on Craigslist and I started looking for motorcycle frame. Everybody wanted an outrageous amount of money. So then I finally came up on one. Finally found one. Found was a 1968 CB 350. That is a Honda motorcycle. But I didn't get the whole motorcycle. It was just a frame. And I bought it from an English bloke. His name was Adam. Ironically, he was actually over from England and he had like some bar or something, but he haven't had time to really mess with it. So he was getting rid of the frame. So I put that frame, and I had a Mercury Mystique at the time, okay? Which is like a super tiny car. And I was able to shoehorn it down into the trunk of my car, and down the road I went back to the house feeling excited. So then I had to come up with a plan. Okay, so I got a starting platform. What do I want? I said, I want hardcore, bare bones, I'm a real man riding this motorcycle. So what I thought of was a bar hopper, hardtail bobber, rooster tail, no fenders, no frills, kickstart, man's bike. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. We wasn't playing around with it at all. So I went on over to the metal superstore and got some metal from there. And I said, all right, let's go ahead and start in making this into a hard frame. So again, over at my buddy's Tim's house, we went over there and we started chopping up the frame. It's like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're still cutting up, welding and stuff like that. We go ahead and I said, all right, so now we need to work on the suspension. We need to get this stance. What can I do to get this stance the way I want it while I'm still looking for an engine? So I said, what is cheap on the internet? So I start searching around for old parts. So I'm saying, all right, let's see here. Let's look up a Ninja. So I start looking up a Ninja and the newer Ninja triple tree, and I'm like, it's kind of expensive, but what if I went back into the 90s? So I went and I picked up a 1990 EX500 front end, and it was bent, so I had to straighten it on top of that, but I got it for like 50 bucks, so it was a deal. So like 30 bucks for the frame, another 50 bucks for the front end, and then I'm starting to order the wheels and stuff like that off of eBay as well. So I'm getting wheels for like another 35 bucks, putting in best offers and going like that. So it's slowly starting to move together. Now when it came to the front end and the triple tree, it wasn't just a drop in and fit. There was like a gap, a space in between. So I'd have to take care of that. But also there are no bearings for this frame and this EX500 Ninja triple tree. So I had to make some. I called around, tried to get the closest bearings I could get. So I went with All Balls Racing, their bearing kits. They're like 60 bucks a pop, mind you. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And I don't know if you guys have ever done this. If you guys have ever grind on hardened steel, but it's the worst thing in the world. Okay, do you know how bad it is doing that? So I had to grind it down to fit. So I'm on the grinder, I mean, for days. I mean, lunch breaks at a time, just going at it. And you're trying to grind it straight all the way around and even, so you can go ahead and press it into the head tube of the CB350 frame. So, okay, finally, I got it. Now, it's as close as it's gonna get. Now, we just need to go ahead and finish press it on in. We'll be good. We gotta be gentle, okay? So, my idea was to heat the head tube, put the bearings that I spent forever grinding down in the freezer. That expands, this contracts, should go in, no problem. But, good friend, Mr. William, transmission guy, he says, you know what, we could get it. Just take this hammer. We've got this bearing cup. We can go ahead and beat it in. I said, are you sure, Mr. William? Are you sure? I've been doing this for like 4 days now, and the bearings aren't cheap. I got one shot to make this happen. This is after work. It's late. I want to get it done, but I don't want to rush. He says, I got you. He says, I got you. This is the same guy that has screwed me several times, but I love him to death, so fine. Take the bearing, put it in the head tubes. We go ahead, put the bearing cup on top, and he starts wailing on it. Bang, bang, I mean wailing on it. I said, all right, it's almost there. Let's just tap it in. Let's just ease it in. Oh, we can just hit it a couple more times and it'll straighten out. And he hits it the last time, and the race shatters. Completely shatters the race into pieces. 60, 75 bucks down the drain, several days wasted, time wasted. I wanted to cry. That was how bad it was. I wanted to cry. So I just sat there, angry, didn't want to talk to him for several days. Waited until payday again, bought some more bearings, did it again. So it took me another 4 to 5 days just grinding on it. It's slowly starting to move together. So we get the front wheel, we're starting to get the back wheel. It's a hardtail now. It's starting to resemble a bike. And I said, okay, for this bar hopper look, I need cheap handlebars. So I went down to the local motorcycle shop and said, hey, I need some handlebars for a dirt bike or a four-wheeler. Sold me something for like 20 bucks. So now we got handlebars. We got to get the seat going. This is going to be a hardtail, but I don't want it to be too hard. I had it to work. I had a mountain bike behind the house. I went on ahead and took the shocks off of that. Bam, slapped that on and used that as my little suspension. So I got some kind of seat now. This is me sitting on it. Oh man, it's starting to look good. Oh, it's starting to look like a bike. It's a roller. Only got a couple $100 in it. So after that, we're still going. I'm still trying to find an engine. So I finally found an engine off of Craigslist. It was a 1984 XR350 engine. And the guy, he met me off the interstate, off the side of the road, and he had like 4 pit bulls inside of his truck. I should have known something was up. But he said, yeah, man, it runs. It's perfect. And I'm green to this, so I don't know. I'm going to take your word for it. Whatever. Hey, it runs. I trust you. Don't trust people, side note. Don't trust people. Okay, it runs. Awesome. So I go ahead and get this engine, not knowing a whole lot about it. If you guys don't know, the EX350 came in 2 years only. 84, 85. That means parts for this bad boy is ungodly expensive. So I got the engine, felt good about it, mocked it up, put it inside of the bike. Oh man, this is the bike right here. Oh my God, look at it. Look at it. It's a bike and we are rolling now. So I said, you know what? It might be a good thing to see if I can turn it over at least. I mean, I'm not trying to start it, but turn it over. So I tried to turn it over, and there's no compression at all. Didn't have a Kickstarter, so when I was buying it, I couldn't even try to run through it with my hand to see if it's got any resistance. None. So I ended up having to take part of the engine apart. The valves are just gacked. Okay, they're not destroyed, but they're warped like all get out. I looked up valves for it. Trying to find valves for it. Valves are like $150 a valve. That was eBay's price, and they couldn't even get it from the dealership. So I'm like, oh my God. Well, okay, we're gonna straighten these valves by hand. Roll them on a flat surface. Are they rolling? Nope. Let's beat on one side of it and keep that process going. Beat on one side of it. Keep on going. Get the engine put back together. Then, on top of that, didn't want to get in the gear. So then I had to take the engine back out, take it apart, get that going. Try to see if I can fix it. The Kickstarter broke, so I had to find another one. Just the little Kickstarter spring and stuff like that, recall, was like $40. So I got that. Put that on there. Okay, so we got that. Put it all back together, put it inside of the car. I go on eBay, somehow, some way, I find an actual wiring harness. Get the whole wiring harness, get like a $4.99 battery, motorcycle battery off of Amazon, and I start wiring this thing up. It looks terrible, but you know what? It's looking like a bike. It's looking like a bike. My welds look boogery, but all I wanted to do is get it to run. And the bet was that I could build this bike for $1,000 to $1,200 or less, and I'd have to make one complete round around the dealership, at least one. So we're slowly plowing away. I did small other things like put a big headlight on the front of it. I mean, it's coming together. It's rough, but I can see the vision. I can see the vision of it. So we're going from there. I've got it all going together. Now is the time, moment of truth. It's time to start it. Gotta look victory in his eyes. You gotta make it happen now. You gotta make it happen. So we go ahead, got the carburetors, which was not cheap as well. Got those on there. Got the boots, which are not cheap as well, because they only came on 2 years. Got that all put together. Time to start it. A little bit of starter fluid. Let's make it happen. Kick it the first time, nothing happened. Kick it hard the second time, it comes back. I did not know bikes that you have to kickstart bites you. Did not know that. Didn't know the pain that came with it. It came back, hit me in the shin. It hurt. Oh my God. It was like this. Ah. 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 Yeah, it was like that, but 5 times as long. It was absolutely terrible. Okay, fine. Got my buddy Tim over there. So we got the little twist throttles, jerry-rigged everything, zip-tied stuff out the way. We got the bike, we got the chain, we've got all of this stuff. It should start. Hit it again. It comes to life. It smokes the entire shop like someone set off a smoke bomb and all the doors was open. That's how bad it was. Screaming. I said, yeah, we got it. You couldn't tell me nothing. It was better than winning $1 million. They said I couldn't do it, but I did it. The wheels are turning. I'm feeling good. My blood is pumping. We get it running. Oh man, I'm feeling good. Turn it off for the day. I'm going home. Victory, sex, everything. You couldn't tell me nothing. So I came back in the next day. Oh, I'm bragging. What? You can't tell me nothing. I only got like $700 in this thing. And I went to start it again. And they always say it runs the best before it goes boom. That's a very true statement. Because it ran like stink. No more smoke. You can give it the gas. Boom. Grenades. It's over. It's done. I don't got no more in me. I have overcome so many things, so many problems with this thing. I try to find another engine. I can't find one. I can't find one unless it's like $1,000. And that's without any kind of electronics. That's without any harness. That's without anything that I need, without the carburetors or, you know, throttle bodies. It was looking bleak. So it sat and it sat and it sat for a while. And then I finally went on ahead and disassembled it. Didn't have any more in me. Didn't want to grind on the frame. Didn't want to straighten stuff up. Didn't want to clean up boogered welds. I was defeated. And that is the story of me dramatically failing at building a motorcycle. I'm sorry for being so animated, but that process was long. It was drawn out. It was tedious. It was heartbreaking. It was, it was bad. It was bad. It looked rough. Like, I even posted that bike on like a forum. I forgot. It was like Chop Cult or something. I can't remember. And like 2,000 people viewed it, and I didn't get a single comment on. Like, it deserved to be with the sloppy mechanics, but I didn't know about them at the time. I'm pretty sure I would have got some encouragement from there, but they just looked at me like, oh my God, how could you? We do cafe races here that's all original and all kind of, yeah, whatever. So that's it, guys. That was me failing. But you know what? We're going to do another bike, hopefully soon when the time comes. I'm gonna go with that vintage, that Voodoo vintage frame. We're gonna go ahead and get a, I'm thinking like a Gixxer 600 engine. Yes, I want to put a crotch rocket engine on a hardtail bobber. The look I'm going for is in my head, and you'll think I'm crazy before it's finished, but hopefully we can get it done. It'll be slow. It's going to be tedious, because fast costs money. Slow, I can save some. So we'll see what happens there. But that's it for today, guys. That is it for my story. If you have any stories of yourself failing or not failing, in the comment section below, let me know. I would like to see it. You guys have a lot of good comments as well. Love looking at them and seeing that. So thank you guys for checking it out. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. But if you give me a thumbs down, you have to tell me why, so I can improve my content. So that's it, guys. Peace.